Hello, my fellow humans, and welcome back to Scatter Love Tarot with your girl Becky, coming at you with another pick a card reading. Today we are going to ask, what are people's first impressions of you? If you caught the last reading, you know that I have been getting some channeled messages. So over the next I would say the next 2 weeks at least, we're going to have a lot of channeled message readings coming through. So we're going to go with it. The last one was absolutely incredible by my own standards. So if you haven't caught that one, definitely check that one. That's out. How do people see you? I know these are very similar, but different at the same time. So we're going to get into it today. For those of you that are returning watchers, I just want to say thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. I'm so honored and blessed to have this incredible community continue to build each and every day. I want to send you some love. And for those of you that are joining us for the first time, welcome. This is a reminder that we are all human here, sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to come as your highest, most aligned, authentic self. Keep in mind, all of these readings are general, so take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing below, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you will find all the links necessary to do so below in the description box, or you can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You may also follow me on over to my podcast where we talk about all different kinds of things, and it is a fun, chill hangout session with me. So I do hope to see you over there. Memberships are now live, so if you want to know some more information about those, there's a join button somewhere along the page. It's next to the subscribe button where it used to be or still is. When you click on that, it'll show you the levels I have available as well as the options that are available. You're looking at custom emojis, custom badges next to your name. There's community only posts for the memberships. There's going to be membership only polls where you can help choose the readings that are going to be upcoming on the future of the channel. You will have access to early access to pick a card readings in some cases, and even in other cases there's an option where you will have 1 to 2 readings per month that will not be here on the normal community. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and get into your prayer and we'll get the party started. I'm coming up, so you better get this party started. Get this party started on a Saturday night. And I love it because it is Saturday. It is Saturday today. That's awesome. Alright, so let's get into it. My beloved source, this prayer is for any and all who come onto this channel. We're here on this reading. I ask that you surround them in love. I feel like with the new start of the year, there's a lot of guilt that's going around because of failed promises to self, failed promises to others. This idea that we're going to change our lives and then we get into it and things don't go through the way that we want to. So I ask that you lift us up. And know that they're not failed promises, they're just learned experiences, and that from that, we can choose to show up. We can continue to choose to be there for ourselves. We can choose to make a difference in our lives today, that we don't need to come from this place of feeling guilty and beating ourselves up and waiting for a whole nother year to make a change in our lives. As we get near the end of this month, I ask that you bring us into this realization that every day is a fresh start to a whole new year. That every day is a fresh start to seeing ourselves with eyes of light and love. That every day is a fresh start for us to embody and embrace and accept ourselves in this here now here moment. I ask that you hold us near and dear, that you guide us along our journeys, and that you bring us to the truth of where we need to let our footsteps fall so that we can find our path of highest light and love. As these words are spoken unto this reading and into this space, so shall they be. Amen. Aho. Ase. Thank you, my beloved source. Thank you so much. Let me go ahead and get this set up out of the way over here. Okay. Oh, need it off of the glass. There we go. There we go. We got this. So, yes, yes, and yes. I am bringing back the Talisman Oracles. I feel like this is a fitting oracle for this reading. And I've already given these a shuffle, so we'll go ahead and get into it for you. So, source for pile number 1. What Talisman Oracle will help us better understand what are people's first impression of pile number 1? What are people's first impression of pile number 1, source? Pile number 1. What are people's first impression of pile number 1? Thank you, source. Okay, and for pile number 2, source, what are people's first impression of pile number 2? What are people's first impression of pile number 2? What are people's first impression of pile number 2? Right here. Thank you, source. Okay, and for pile number 3, source, what are people's first impression of pile number 3? One card, please. What are people's first impression of pile number 3? What are people's first impression of pile number 3? Okay, it's this one here. Thank you. Okay, and on the bottom, collective message, we have eternal charisma. That you all have a beautiful charisma about you, that you're ever, always part of the center of attention. That's cool. I like that. All right, let me grab this so that that's available. Make sure, because I'm going to read those from the book, okay? Now, I have these new stones I got, which I absolutely love, but I have no idea what their names are. It was just kind of like a... Like, it didn't come with, oh, this is that, and this is this. So, if you know what these stones are called, these are raw versions of them, please put down below the pile and the name of it so that I know if you know. Just if you know, okay? I just appreciate you guys helping me out. It takes a village, and you have all definitely owned your part in this village, and I love you so much, okay? So, with that being said, for pile number 1, we have this beautiful green hued stone to choose from. Okay, pile number 2, we have this beautiful purple one. In pile number 3, we have this one, which is like purple and green. I wish the green would show up the way that I see it. It's just a little bit too clear, I guess. You see it right there on the top? So pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. And whichever one you feel drawn to, that should be the pile for you. And with that being said, I will see you over on your chosen pile. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful green stone, I don't know what it's called. If you do, please let me know. Or if you were drawn to this card during this shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what are people's first impression of you, keeping in mind that these are general readings, okay? So take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing, it does allow me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy to get you out more resonant readings. Now, I do want to just say, I want to give a shout out to anyone and everyone that has continually shown up to support the channel and has been here as a part of this incredible journey. I'm so honored to have you here, and just thank you for being a part of this incredible community. And for those of you that are new, this is a reminder that we are all here sharing this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to come as your highest, most aligned, authentic self. If you do want to support the channel further, if you check out the description box, you'll find all the links necessary to do so. You may also email me for a personal reading, and I'll get you out further information from there. You can follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly. Talk about all different kinds of things over there. So I do hope to see you there. Memberships are now live on the channel. So if you're wondering more about those, if you click the join button where the subscribe button is or used to be, it will show you the levels that I have available as well as the options available for each level. We're talking customized emojis, customized badges next to your name, membership only polls, membership only posts. There's going to be early access to pick a card readings, shout outs. There's also one option where you get 1 to 2 readings a month that will not be on the community itself, but just for members only. So I do hope to see you over there. I hope you find an option that works best for you. And with that, let's go ahead and jump to it and find out what are people's first impressions of pile number 1, source. What can you tell us? What are people's first impressions of pile number 1? What do they first see? What do they first know when they meet pile number 1? Wow, rolling. Okay, so we've got the 12th house, we've got Cancer energy, and we've got Pluto. So you're very mysterious and very kind. Like, you're this kind, mysterious person that comes in that brings a lot of transformative energy with you, right? Very dreamy. You're probably extremely good looking. And if you don't feel like you are, everyone else feels like you are. Okay, remember, you grow up seeing your face every day, so it's familiar. That doesn't take away its exotic, its exoticness from other people. When they don't grow up seeing your face every day, you appear very beautiful and handsome and good looking to them. So there's definitely the first impressions is that you're a very beautiful person. You're very psychically inclined. Like, you may help people without realizing it, like going up and talking to them about personal issues. Like, you feel like you're a very deep person. You don't do the whole, hey, how's the weather? You're like, hey, I feel like you're struggling with this, this, and this, and I'm being told to tell you X, Y, Z. And they're like, whoa, holy crap, how did you know? And that's the type of energy that you possess. Like, you're not someone who does the shallow conversation bit. You're going to get right to the nitty gritty real fast. With that, their first impression is that you're somebody who just transforms others naturally. Okay? They do feel like you're somebody who enjoys solitude, though. Like, they don't see you with somebody. Like, it feels like everybody always sees you by yourself. Like, you're just always kind of chilling by yourself. Their first impression of you is that you're an old soul. That you're like the person of their dreams. Like, not necessarily in a romantic way. Yes, in some cases it can be a romantic way. But that you're like the person that someone has dreamt about. Like, does this person exist in the world? Is there someone who's like pile 1? And then pile 1, you show up and you're like, ah. And they're like, oh my gosh, they do exist. That's amazing. Their first impression of you is that you're very supportive, you're compassionate, you have a very feminine, healing energy about you, you're very sensitive, you're soft, that you're a safe space, okay? And that you're secretive too. Like, there's a lot about you that's very secretive, that's underneath the exterior, right? Like, you don't share a whole lot, or you might not share a whole lot. But that you're very deep. Like, that's the other thing, like I'm saying, like, you get very to the nitty gritty. You're very deep. You actually touch a lot of people's fears right away. Just by being you, that's your first impression. So you may be so beautiful or so handsome that people are immediately intimidated by you. And they're fearful because it's like, oh, I'm never going to look or be like pile number 1. Like, that's just not fair. But then when they get to see you just for a few minutes and you give that actual first impression face to face, if they get a chance to talk to you, it's almost like they regret judging you based on your looks because they realize, like, whoa, this is someone who's beautiful in and out. Like, it's a whole package deal with pile number 1. Okay, they do feel like a lot of people become obsessed with you right away, or that you have a lot of suitors and takers, like, I want to be in your life, people chasing after you. trying to, why, I don't know why, but I'm seeing this image of like a girl being on the monkey bars and guys like, you know, when little boys like were trying to look up their skirts when they're on the monkey bars. I don't know why that image is coming in, but I'm just gonna say it and hopefully it resonates with somebody because it's so random. Okay, so we're gonna use my Nicoletta deck today. Y'all know it's between this one and my original deck. I can't help it. The Ace of Swords falls out saying, yes, yes, yes. Alright, so let's get in on the moon making an appearance here. Very secretive. Very, like, mysterious. Like, that's the thing. You're very mysterious, feminine energy. And if you are a man here, that's fine. Like, you're just embodying this very beautiful, receptive energy. Like, you're allowing yourself to receive. Very connected with source, okay? Very connected with spiritual energy. Whether you practice spirituality or not, it's just you give off this air of understanding and recognizing some kind of cosmic function that most people don't understand. So what is people's first impression of pile number 1, source? Alright, thank you. Oh my goodness, my nose. Oh, my nose. What is up today with the nose? Like, the nose. Alright, so source, what are people's first impression of pile number 1? What more would you like to say here? Okay, they want me to stop. What are people's first impression of pile number 1, source? What messages do you have for us? Whoa, okay, so we're definitely going to take that one, but I feel like these ones are going to go back in the deck. I have to make sure they're right side up. Okay, cool. We can give it a shuffle. Shuffle those back in. Yeah, people get really intensely obsessed with you. So like if it's somebody that's attracted to you, they become very obsessed right away. Like you're like the girl next door, the guy next door. What are people's first impression of pile number 1, source? Thank you. What are people's first impression of pile number 1? Like it's hard to imagine that you exist in some cases. Okay, they want one more card. I was only going to do 3, but I'm hearing one more. What are people's first impression of pile number 1, source? You want one more card? Yeah, okay. On the bottom of the deck, we have, if I can get it straightened out here. Look, we have the Queen of Cups. Yeah. This is not surprising that this will come out. This is Cancerian energy here. So you could have Cancer highly aspect in your chart. But this is that energy of like, you're very nurturing, you're very intuitive, insightful. Sorry, my dog, she's running around and it shakes the camera because she's a heavy foot. She just runs around. She's so heavy. she's not fat. She's just beefy. Like she's just very muscular. She's a very muscular dog. So anyways, yeah, it's like very nurturing. Like you see things that other people don't. Like and your imagination is very strong. And one second. Oh my gosh, my dog pushed the older dog out of the bed, and she's such a jerk sometimes. Like, she's such a weirdo. Anyways, yeah, they see you as this person who just understands a deeper sense of what it means to be alive, to be in this world. So this is people's first impression of you. This is pretty deep already. What do we have? We have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, that love. We have the 8 of Coins. I'm sorry, that's the 7 of Coins. We have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Queen of Wands. I cannot make this up. All right, let's start here. You're very unusual, right? You're very unusual, but very, very much like people, they instantaneously fall in love with you. Like they feel a direct connection to you. They can't help but feel that connection to you, and they fall in love with you. 10:10 on the clock. And you bring a sense of change with you everywhere you go. Like, when people first meet you, their lives are changed forever. Whether you actually have a physical interaction with them or not, just your presence being there changes their lives. And with the 6 of Cups here, it's like, this is the love card in my deck. Like, this is the one that's like soulmate, people seeing you as a dream come true. That's exactly what it is, but you're also out of reach for them. Is a lot of people don't know how to come up to your level in order to connect with you the way that you connect with them. And it's not like you give out that energy like, oh my gosh, if you're not on my level, get out of here. Like, you don't give that off. It's just that belief coming through where it's like they've put you on a pedestal. They've put you out of reach. That's their first impression of you. You're unique. You're different. You're unorthodox. You could have Aquarian energy highly aspect in your chart as well. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. You could have Aquarius in the 9th and the 10th house is what I'm hearing here. Okay, these are very specific messages. Very specific. But everywhere you go, you bring abundance with you, right? And because you're unusual, it's like people want to offer you love. They want to give you love because they see you as someone like, again, it's that energy. It's like, does this person exist? And then boom, here you come. You walk in and they're like, oh my gosh, that's exactly the person I was thinking about. And you're nothing like what they imagined, but you're everything like you imagine they would be. Like you, that they imagined you would be. Wow, that was a trip to say. Right? And so it's like they've been rushing their whole life in one place, trying to find love, trying to find this person that they could give their love to, trying to find someone that was worthy of this love that they too carry, you know? And then you come in, but then it's like because they've imagined it over and over and over again, they don't know how to come forward to give you that love. They don't know how to come forward to even talk to you. You have the Queen of Wands here with the Knight of Cups. And it's like they want to come in and give you something because you're so beautiful and handsome and attractive and amazing. But again, they just feel so small compared to you. They feel like you're out of reach for them because you're so intuitive. You're so different. You're just a different person. Like you aren't here. When you say hello to someone, you change their world. When you smile at someone, you change their world. Like you don't do it knowingly. It's not like you're walking in saying, oh, I'm here, bitches. Like, excuse the language. But it's not like you're doing that. You're not walking in and saying, I'm here, I'm changing your life forever. No, it's just you being you is something that changes people's lives. Like, they're just impacted by you. You're just such a vibrant soul. You're such a vibrant person. You know? And it's like they just can't. They just can't with you. Okay, so let's get some oracles out here. Source, what else would you like to say here? What are people's first impression of pile number 1? Okay, they want this one. On the bottom, like we have Saturn coming, feeling restricted, experiencing struggle, learn hard work and patience. Yeah, so they've had to be patient for you to come in their life. They've had to go through ups and downs for you to come into their lives. And again, it's not even like people actually have access to you like that. It's just like, just meeting you is like you have shown them that people like you exist. Like, it's like they've been asking, does a person like pile 1 exist? And somewhere along the way, Source like brings you into their lives to say yes. And this is why people are changed by you. You bring purification with you everywhere you go. Like, you're that vibrant, purifying, loving soul. Wow, I have the hiccups of confirmation here. You're so unique. The way you dress, the way you act, the way you look. Oh, I have the hiccups. Like, all of a sudden came on, like, raging. Are you drinking? I've had that before. Look, now they're gone. Look, I cannot make this up. We have equality here, seahorses. It's like they're watching you from afar and they see you as this beautiful, purified soul. Someone who understands that they've been through a lot. They've been through some ups and downs. I feel like also with the seahorses here, like there's people who see you as a very high potential mate. Like, I would love to be with pile 1. So their first impression of you is someone that's beautiful, that's handsome, someone that is just so extremely good looking, but is also innocent. They feel like they need to protect you. This is their first impression of you, is that you understand the hardships of life. You're just a pure soul who also gets the hardness. Okay, so let's get one of these. What else would you like to say here, Source? Okay, thank you. Co-create with spirit. Number 17, which is 8. 8 is a karmic number. It's also connected with abundance. So they do see you as very connected, right? Very connected to source. Very capable of doing what you want to do. Like, even if you never talk about your work, they just already think that you're doing something that's very unique and wonderful and that they could have never imagined doing themselves. So we have number 31 here with time to let go. And I feel like a lot of people have a very brief encounter with them and they have to let go of you so soon and they don't want to. We got that in the beginning with the Pluto energies. A lot of people become obsessed with you, very possessive of you. But it's like you're kind of like a fairy that kind of wisps in and out here and there. And it's like people don't have access to you like that. Like they're just not allowed to have access to you like that. And so you teach people how to let go in very short periods of time. And it's scary. Like it's actually scary for them. So let's grab one of these cards. These are love oracle cards that I have. They don't have a name. I apologize. I cannot make that up. They're just called the Loving Oracle deck and they don't have an author on them. So on the bottom here we have shock, sudden change, shocking news, surprise, and epiphany, transformation. I mean, can we be even more clear about this, Source? For real. You just shock people. Like, they see you and it's like their whole life is changed. Their whole world is changed. We'll get some Panther oracles here in just a minute. Opposition, imbalance, a point of tension, and a power struggle. So that's that obsession coming through. It's like people want to control you. They want to be in charge of you, but they know that they don't have it like that. Like they know that. And so it's like weird because why would someone who wants to love me want to be in control of me? It's because they're afraid of losing you. Like you teach them to let go in a very short time. Like people get to experience your beauty for a very short time and then it's gone. And then it's like they're left wondering, was that all a dream? But they know it wasn't, right? Look, lightning with power here. You shock people. Their first impression of you, they're shocked that you exist. Oh my gosh, pile 1 is a real being. They're a real person. Boom, power. Power, dear. Oh my gosh, like, whoa. You are a very powerful person. You command presence. When people meet you for the first time, their first impression of you is you command power. We had that with Pluto too. It came through. Now you have it twice here. You're shocking. You command power. You're a very powerful person, right? That's that point of tension and the power struggle. That's another thing here is like people wish they had the command and the presence that you have. What do we have here? Phoenix, new phase and rekindle, renew and growth, changed mind, rise from the ashes. This is another reason why they feel like you understand a lot of struggles, is because you feel like you've grown a lot. And even if they don't know you, they feel like you've grown a lot. So, you know what? I was going to get some Panther oracles, but this was so profound. I just want to leave it there because that's just so much. Like, source came through mighty and clear for sure. Let's take a look at your oracle card. I'm going to read this from the book. We've got intuition. I cannot make this stuff up. This is so I mean, you got the Queen of Coins, or I'm sorry, the Queen of Cups. You got Cancer energy. This is all connected with our intuitive insight, our ability to see with our third eye. And then you get the intuition card. You get power, lightning. I mean, just, whew, I'm like over here fanning myself, pile one. Like, can I get a minute with you? I mean, geez. So here's the insignia if you'd like to screenshot this and copy it and carry it with you as a reminder of this reading. I'm going to read this to you. It says, you are wide awake and able to perceive a higher level of awareness that helps you recognize secrets and subconscious intentions. The intuitive beetle is using the third eye gate to see through the prism of distortion. Didn't I say that? You're very secretive in the beginning. That's something that came through so strong. The answers you are seeking will come from within, from your divine knowledge and inner wisdom. Your intuition will help you read people's bodies, language, and facial expressions if they are in disagreement with their words and actions. Allow time and space to practice words, but know that your present situation will benefit significantly from your keen intuition. The candle just went out. It says, I am awake and I see. Yeah, you definitely bring a sense of understanding to people around them without trying. Like, they're just forever changed when you come into their life. And that's just because your intuition is so on point, right? I keep hearing on fleek. Like, it's on fleek. I don't know why that's coming through. But yeah, it's just, you're so connected to source, right? We got that with the co-create with spirit. Like, you're so connected to source. It's like when you walk in, everybody feels that unconditional love of source because that's what you're channeling. You're just constantly channeling it, constantly connected, and people are just changed forever because they connect with you. And so this, people's first impression is like, whoa, I wish I could know someone like Pile 1 for forever. And I feel like, that's what I said, I feel like people don't have access to your energy like that. Okay? I loved this reading. This was absolutely amazing. So if you feel like this resonates with you, leave the little third eye emoji down below and say, I walk with eyes wide shut, knowing what happens around me, to let source know that you're calling in this higher vibrational energy. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this incredible message, Pile number 1. And until next time, stay human. Bye. Hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful purple hue rock, and I've said this on the other piles, if you know what this is, write down the pile and the name of it down below so I know what it is, because I actually don't. But it's absolutely gorgeous. Or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, then this is going to be your reading on what is people's first impression of you, or what are people's first impression of you. I do just want to send a shout out to all of my supporters, my viewers, my ride or dies, my OGs, those of you that have been here with me and continue to be here and support the channel. I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of this incredible journey. I'm so honored to be sharing this space and this time with you and watching as we get to grow every day. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is a reminder that we are all here having this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to come as your highest, most aligned, authentic, loving self. Keep in mind, these are general readings, so take what resonates, leave what does not, knowing that as you interact with the channel by liking, commenting, and subscribing down below, it allows me an opportunity to directly connect with your energy and get you out more resonant readings. If you are interested in supporting the channel further, you'll find all the links necessary to do so below in the description box. You can email me for a personal reading. I'll get you out further information from there. You can also follow me on over to my podcast, where we talk about anything and everything. And it's just a fun, chill hangout session with yours truly at Scatter Love Radio. I hope to see you there. Memberships are now up and live. So if you would like to know more information about those, there's a join button down below next to the subscribe button, or where the subscribe button used to be. When you click on that, it'll show you the levels I have available, as well as the options that come with each level. We're looking at custom emojis, custom badges for the amount of time you're a member. There's community polls. There's community posts that are membership only available. You'll get to help direct the future of the channel and future pick a card readings. For some, they're early access to pick a card readings, and for another level, there's an option to get 1 to 2 readings per month that are membership only readings that you will not see here on the channel. Okay, so I do hope to see you over there. I hope that you find an option that works best for you. With that being said, though, let's go ahead and get into it and find out What are people's first impression of pile number 2, Source? What messages can you share with us? What are people's first impression of pile number 2? What are people's first impression of pile number 2, Source? All right, rolling. Wow. A lot of feminine energy is being present today in the reading. Not a bad thing. Even if you're a guy, don't freak. This just means that you're in a very receptive time in your life, which is very beautiful, right? Balancing out the masculine means observing and accepting the feminine within, and vice versa. Balancing out the feminine means accepting and observing the masculine within us. We all have both. It's part of the yin yang. We're all part of the whole. One is not devoid of the other. Okay, so very homely, like you're, you know, and everybody's saying, oh, homely means you're plain. And honestly, growing up, I'm just going to be real with you. When I learned homely as a word, it meant unpretentious. Okay, so when I use homely, just know that it means, yes, plain in a way, but really it's talking about unpretentious. Okay. But you're very like a homebody. You're someone that reminds people of home. You're someone that they look at and they see that you're very much where your roots grow. Like you're not trying to be out here impressing people. And that's their first impression of you. Like you're just living your best life. And somehow, some way, shape, or form, you're also very magnetic through that. That's their first impression of you. You can be seen as plain and luxurious at the same time here. And that's the energy that's coming through. So you might just wear really simple clothes, but you know how to do it in such a way that looks fancy. So you'd be wearing and sporting some sweatpants, and you may have some Timberlands on, and you'd be looking like, you know, you're fresh cut this week. Like out the bag, like I got it down. Right? And that's the thing. They're saying, like, you just look really luxurious, even though you're somewhat plain. Like, you're not trying to be out here sporting Gucci. You're not out here trying to sport, you know, everything Armani or whatever it is. Like, you're really just trying to live your best life and do with what you have. Even if you could afford brands like that, like, you still might not wear those brands just because. Like, that's just not really... It doesn't feel like your style, okay? And so that's the first impression that a lot of people have of you, is like you're not someone who's out here trying to make others feel guilty about the band in their pocket. You're a very kind and loyal person, right? You're very nurturing and loving. You're very supportive and compassionate, soft and feminine. Remind people of home, right? Very attractive, very sociable, very charming, very peaceful, very comforting. You have a lot of balance about you. It's pleasurable to be around you. There's something about your neck, too. You may have a very long neck. Like, not in a bad way. Like, it just looks very elegant because you have a long neck. I know, that's a very specific message for someone. So, yeah, it's just very, very, like, elegant but plain altogether. And still unpretentious. It's funny how the English language changes so much in just a couple of generations. Well, and I was taught English by my grandma. My grandma was a grammar and English stickler. I mean, she was crazy. She wanted us to know vocabulary. She would ask us new words every day. Like, we talked to my grandma and saw my grandma really, really a whole bunch of times during the week. They just lived a few blocks away from us when I was growing up. So I learned a lot of different meanings for words that I use now. And I'm like, they don't mean the same thing that they meant when I was growing up. Like, can't keep up with the times always, y'all. Just can't. So, all right, let's get some tarot out on it. Today we're going to use the Nicoletta Tarot. Source, what are people's first impressions of pile number 2? Okay, thank you. What are people's first impression of pile number 2? Yeah, that you're very well versed and traveled. Like, you seem like someone who's been around the world. Okay, like, you seem like you're someone who might speak multiple languages. And that might be because when they see you speaking 2 languages. What are people's first impression of pile number 2, Source? Well, okay, you're getting 2 cards here. Thank you. Alright, what are people's first impression of pile number 2, Source? What are people's first impression of pile 2? Thank you. Alright, what are people's first impression of pile number 2, Source? What are people's first impression of pile number 2? Thank you. On the bottom, you have the Ace of Coins. New beginnings. Like, that's a thing. Like, you bring with you the idea or the belief that new beginnings are possible. Like, I feel like wherever you go, you bring a sign of hope. Like, when people are struggling, like, you might be taken to various places and not really known why that you're taken there. And it's like, Source is bringing you as a way to bring hope. To rekindle faith among the people. And so a lot of people's first impression of you definitely reflects that you're someone who brings a lot of hope. Yeah, in situations that they feel very stuck in because you're so grounded. And your perspective is very different. Which makes sense. My collective definitely has a different perspective of the whole world here, which is awesome. But it's really because you see the world as... It's kind of like the world is your oyster type energy. And you help give that hope to others who maybe been struggling with it. So what do we have here? Look, we have the 10 of Cups. Wow. We have the 8 of Wands. Okay. We have the the Page of Cups. And we have the 4 of Coins. Interesting. So you help people see that happiness doesn't have to be such a struggle. It's their first impression of you. You carry an air of leadership. This is emotional leadership. The 10 of Cups in my decks talks about emotional leadership. Like being able to have a cup that's so full, you fill up everyone's cup as you go. Because you're constantly giving back to yourself. Constantly giving back to yourself. And so people feel that. And that's why it's that hope, that new beginning. With the Ace of Coins over here, it's like you remind people that not everybody in the world is just here to take. And even if you're the only person that they ever run into in their life, you still existed. You are someone that brought hope. You're someone that shows them that they can let go of the fear and anxiety that's been holding them back. And that they too can look out for themselves. It's their first impression of you. That in a short time, you have, you know, and pages aren't really a whole lot, right? Like they don't really offer a whole lot. They're kind of new. And we think about this new mindset with the pages. And so it's like new love, right? With the Page of Cups is like a very new love, something that's not very deeply grounded. And that absolutely makes sense in this place of your reading, 11:11 on the clock, where you help them see that their anxiety is keeping them from experiencing new love. That they don't have to stay in this place of fearing the idea of someone coming in and starting afresh with them. And so you give this hope that love exists, that love will come, and that as long as faith is maintained, they'll receive it. And that comes from you being such a caring person, being so in touch with your emotions, being so in touch with yourself. And so you're very grounded. You're also seen as very young and pure. So it doesn't matter your age. Like you're just seen as like a young spirit, like a very playful, childlike spirit, a very childlike soul. And you're very grounded in that and very stable in that. And so you bring a sense of chakra healing here. This is the sacral chakra coming through for me. You bring a sense of sacral chakra healing in this reading. And to people, that's their first impression of them is like, it's my right to feel. When we think about the sacral chakra, that's exactly what it connects to, is this is my right to feel. Right? And so you're very grounded in how you feel about yourself. how you feel about the world around you. And because of that, you provide a safe space for people to have new hope, that they too can feel however they feel about these situations that they may be stuck in, about these situations where they feel like they have to follow social construct, or about these situations where they feel like they have to fit in by denying themselves. You give them hope that they don't have to do that anymore. And so that's something that's coming through very strong here. You're a very hopeful person. And you do that because you're not someone out here trying to make people feel bad about how they look. It doesn't mean that you don't do your makeup. It doesn't mean that you don't wear nice clothes. It's just that you dress in a way that's not playing on this idea that I have deep bands in my pocket. Like, I'm just a normal person trying to live my normal life out here, you know, like the rest of you. And that makes you very approachable and makes you very much like they feel like you're on the same level as they are. And that's what makes them feel like they can have hope, because if you're so innocent and childlike and playful and loving and kind and near and dear, then they can be too. And you just spill that everywhere you go. Being the 10 of Cups is here. This is something you give everywhere you go. So this is what most people feel when they're around you, is they've been tormented by fear and anxiety, and then you come in and you remind them that hope is alive. Hope, even when meager, is no small thing. Remember that, okay? What else would you like to say here, Source? What are people's first impression of pile number 1? Or I'm sorry, pile number 2. Sorry, my nose is on fire right now. It's actually not on fire. It felt like someone was touching it with a feather. So the angels are talking to me right now. They wanted you to know that hope, even when meager, is no small thing. So don't feel like this is something that, oh, like that's all their first impression of me is. Like, it's not something else. Like, this is a huge thing. You impact the world. 1441 on the clock. You impact the world in a very strong way. Okay, I guess you're getting 2 of these today. All right. What else, Source? Thank you. Strength. You're a very strong person. And that's a thing, like when hope is recognized and realized, that brings strength to the world, to people who feel like they were lacking it. Right? To people who didn't know that it could potentially exist. When you get people who are down and out, or who are shrouded in fear, who are shrouded in hurt and pain and misery and suffering, and you give them hope, it renews the strength in people. Right? You're learning Sacred Ibis on the bottom here with number 22 and your pile number 2. So 222 coming through, and that's having faith. So you also bring faith with you, trusting the process, right? I'm sorry, that's trusting the process. So they still wanted me to say have faith. That's why I said it. But you're helping people trust in the process. Like, there's a reason I'm going through this, because this too shall pass. This is not something that's going to stick around for all of life. Like, this is something that's going to pass. You give them hope. That's a powerful place to be at. Okay, so what else do we want here? We want one of these. Yeah, I'm going to get one of these love cards here. Just to kind of deepen the meaning of this reading. They don't have a name. They're just called the Loving Oracle deck. There's 53 cards in this deck. They don't have an author. I apologize. But they are incredible so far. Okay, so they want this one. Okay. That's the one they want. On the bottom, look, we have date. Get back out there, meeting someone new, setting a date online. Yeah, you give them hope. Like, hope that they could love again, hope that they can have a fresh start, hope that they can be okay with going out there again, that they don't have to let it just weigh them down. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. House 1, individuality, self-image, and your approach to life impacts them in a very powerful way. This is just who you are. You shine this without trying. Okay? Conjunction, a union, merging and coming together. So there could be people here that want to have your love, but I feel like it goes back to what I was saying. Like, you give them hope that love can exist for them. Like, if you're the way that you are, then they can become happy within themselves and happy in their skin and comfortable with who they are, and love can come in their lives again. You're very authentic. Number 17 with Wolf, authenticity. Their first impression of you, you're authentic. you're not trying to put on face for people. Like, you're just being who you are. Dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. With number 19 here, 10. You bring a lot of abundance with you. And it's like you're loyal to your own cause, right? People feel like you're a friend. People feel like you're a kindred spirit. Like, when they meet you, people already are connected with you. Like, whether you know them or not, they feel like they've known you for forever. And I feel like that's another reason why that sense of hope is so strong. So let's check this out. Cupid's arrow. Look, have faith is the first one. And they wanted me to say have faith with the 222 here, learning and sacred ibis. I hadn't even drawn these yet. Oh, that's so powerful. Look, have faith. Love is coming. Surprise invitation and struck by love. So another thing is that they're struck by you. They're in love. Like, there's a lot of people here, their first impression is they do want to date you. But if they can't date you, then they have faith that there is love out there for them, right? That love is coming. You came into their life as like a confirmation that love exists in the world. And to have faith, to have hope. Oh, that is so profound. So absolutely powerful. I love this reading so far, pile 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at your talisman oracle. I'm going to read this from the book. Safe travel. Didn't I say, like, you're worldly? So you travel a lot. Like that's the thing. Like, I was saying, you get drawn to places and you're like, I don't know why I have to go here. It's because Source is using you as that conduit. This has been a word that's been coming up in the last week for readings, is conduit. Like, you are a conduit for Source to kind of work magic through. And they're drawing you to places that might not make sense to you, but it's not meant to make sense to you because there's a purpose behind it all that Source is playing. Source is playing a big old orchestra that we're not even aware of, you know, painting this picture, whatever it is that you want to call it. Look, and so by having you travel, look at this. You could be going to the mountains. You could be going to the ocean. Could be flying somewhere. But look, isn't that interesting? We have the mountains here. We had strength with the mountains here, right? Like, so there's something about you bringing strength to others when they feel like they're at their wits' end. And that's people's first impression of you. Like, they're so glad that you came into their lives. Here is the insignia if you'd like to screenshot this and copy that and carry it with you so you remember. All right, it says, you are on a journey into the unknown. You are in search of new or expanded understanding of yourself, others, nature, or a higher good. This experience opens your mind and lets you see part of the puzzle you never knew existed. This card can mean it's time to take a pilgrimage, travel abroad, or take an inner journey of introspection. This act of great importance in knowing who you are and the meanings you are looking for. This card can mean a metaphorical journey into your own beliefs. It might be time to discover the constraints of the limiting thoughts we sometimes impose on ourselves. The Arctic turn, a wise and experienced traveler, will guide you towards the shore. It says, I'm ready for this journey. And this is a very Arctic picture here, right? She looks like an Eskimo. I don't know if she is or not, but this is a very Arctic tundra. And so this is the Arctic tern. The bird here is an Arctic tern. So this is a very profound message for you. You're actually called to go places for Source's bidding. You know, Source uses you as a channel. And people, in turn, are given hope of a new beginning. Hope of love. Faith that love exists. You touch them in a very profound way, even if they don't know you, or even if you never get to know them. It's not about that. Like, you're a channel. You're a very powerful channel at that. This was incredible. I love this reading. This was such a cool reading. So if you feel like this resonates for you, leave a wolf emoji down below and say, I find hope and strength by being my most authentic self. And leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this amazing message. And until next time, pile number 2, stay human. Bye. hello, my fellow human. If you were drawn to this beautiful rock right here, and if you know what it's called, definitely leave the pile number and the name of it down below, because I do not know what this is called. It's the raw version of the gemstones, but I don't know what it is. But if you were drawn to this one, or if you were drawn to this card during the shuffle, this is going to be your reading on what are people's first impression of you. So far it's been amazing, so I'm excited to see what comes with yours. First, I do want to send a shout out to those of you that have been returning viewers, subscribers, supporters of this amazing community that's ever growing. I'm so honored and blessed to be sharing this time and space with you, and just thank you so much for being a part of this journey with me. And for those of you that are new here, welcome. This is that reminder that we are all here having this human experience, and that this is a safe space for you to come as your highest, most aligned, authentic self and loving self. And if you are looking to support the channel further, if you check out the description box below, you will find all the links necessary to do so. You can email me for a personal reading and I'll get you out further information from there. You may also follow me on over to my podcast at Scatter Love Radio, which is a fun, chill hangout session with me where we talk about anything and everything, really. There's so much going on over there. Come so far with both here and there. And also, memberships are now up and running. So if you're wondering about those, there's a join button down below next to where the subscribe button is or used to be. If you click on that, it will show you the levels I have available, as well as the options that are available for each level. There's things such as customized emojis you'll get to use, customized badges that you'll get to use. There's membership-only posts and polls where you'll get to help decide the future of the channel and what pick-a-cards come out. On one of the options, you get early access. Well, two options, really. You get early access to pick-a-card readings, and on one option, you'll have your own 1 to 2 pick-a-cards per month that are only membership readings. So I hope to see you over there. I hope you find an option that works best for you. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it and find out what are people's first impression of pile number 3, source. What messages would you like us to know here? What would you like to say? What are people's first impression of pile number 3? Oh, okay, so we've got the 8th house, Uranus energy, and Libra. It's interesting because I dropped this dice when I was starting this reading, and it rolled all the way across the table, and I have the tarot deck sitting right here just waiting to be used, right? Using the Nicoletta tarot today. And so it rolled all the way across, and it came out on Libra, and so here we have Libra again. So Libra is something that's very... It's either highly aspect in your chart, or it's because you're just a very fair person. Okay, so we're going to break it down here and find out what are people's first impression of you is that you're very, like, people are very sexually attracted to you when they first meet you. Okay, like, that's just something they can't deny. They're very sexually attracted to you, that you're very mysterious and secretive, and that almost like dangerous, like danger, Will Robinson, danger. You know, and it's because, like, they're just not sure. Like, you don't give off a whole lot about you or about your energy, about where you are. Like, you may be an open book and talking about things, but it's like, it takes a while for people to get to know you. Like, know you. Know your likes, your wants, your desires. Like, you may talk about your life, and that's fine, but you don't really talk about you. Okay, thanks. So that's what people are. So it's like you kind of have this, like, air of danger about you, where it's like, if I got to know pile 3 on a deeper level, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what would happen. Like, is that something that would be okay for me? Like, it just gives them kind of like a scare, right? You're someone that's seen as kind of like off limits. Like, either that's because of your beauty, the way you look, the way you are, what you believe in, whatever it is. Like, again, this is a first impression, so they don't know much. But right away, you're kind of like seen as off limits, okay? But you're very charming, peaceful, diplomatic, easygoing, harmonious, intelligent, beautiful, handsome, very friendly. You are someone who's very thoughtful of others. Even people you first meet, you're very thoughtful of them. And so this is their first impression of you. So they're seeing that. And they also see that you are someone that's very progressive and a little eccentric. And that might be where the danger comes from, is that you're not quite like another person. Like, you're not like anybody they've ever met before. And that's not unusual, right? Like, people are immediately like afraid of what they don't know. And so that's something that's coming through here. Again, openness is coming through with Uranus energy here. I feel like you're an open book. I feel like you share a lot about yourself, but you share nothing about yourself. If that makes sense, you're going to know what I'm saying. Okay, like, you're an open book about your life, your experiences, the things that you want to share with others so that they can heal. But when it comes to you personally, like, it takes a lot for people to get to know you on a deeper personal level. You're somebody that you could be open about astrology. Like, maybe you wear astrological signs on you. You have astrological tattoos. You could have Libra tattooed on you. I'm seeing on the wrist for some reason. So maybe you wear a Libra bracelet or something like that, or a zodiac bracelet. It doesn't just have to be Libra, but there's something very prominent about Libra because it came out even before I started the reading. Okay. You're someone that is very friendly and original. Like, you're very original. So the way you dress is very original. Like, you're just seen as somebody who's very different. And so people they're intrigued, but they're also scared. Like, oh Lord, they're different. And I want to go know what different is, but I don't want to know what different is because my brain tells me that different is dangerous, right? So let's get some tarot out on it and find out. Yeah, you're also very attractive. And people are just very sexually attracted to you. You might be like, but I don't have it like that. No, you do. You do. You don't see yourself through their eyes. So just own it, okay? So, alright, Source. What are people's first impression of pile number 3? What are people's first impression of pile number 3, Source? What would you like to say here? There's a little girl out here rolling around on rollerblades. I haven't seen rollerblades in a minute. She looks like she's having the time of her life. Oh, she's eating a concho. Is that what they're called? Concha? Concho? I don't know. The big old Mexican breads. Oh my gosh, those things are good. Concha? Did someone just say it? I heard concha. It was really loud. It came in. Yeah, anyways. She's eating one of those. She's rolling around on rollerblades. So your first impression is that you have a good time with life. You could also have a Sagittarius rising or moon. I don't know why that's coming in, but it is coming in. Okay, so what are people's first impression of pile number 3, Source? What are people's first impression? Yeah, you've been through it. Okay. That you get help from Source too. Like, that's a thing. So the 3 of Swords in the Tarot Marseille talks about help from the divine. It's like divine intervention, right? So they see the divine working in your life. You don't know them from Adam, and that's something else that may be seen as dangerous because it's like, oh, that's not what I believe. Like, that goes against my beliefs. That goes against everything I've been taught, everything I've learned. You know, sometimes people just really have a hard time being open-minded to the potential of what could be because they've been taught to be closed-minded in situations like that. And so, but you're so friendly and loving and open and fair, it's hard not to be drawn to you, pile 3. What are people's first impression of pile number 3, Source? What else would you like to say here? What are people's first impression of pile 3? Whoa, okay. These two. All right, thank you, Source. I've had the time of my life. Okay, so that was random, but let's go with it. I don't know who sings that song. I know it's an old song. But if you know who sings it and you know the name of it, would you put it down in the comment section for everyone else, please? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, so we have the Knight of Wands here. Like, when I say people are sexually attracted to you, like, that is an understatement. Like, this is kind of weird. So hang with me, but I'm seeing people taking secret pictures of you so they can take it home and look at it later. Like, I feel like you're completely unaware. So there's a lot of people out there who may have candid shots of you because you're very different, like, looking than anybody they've ever seen. You know, don't take that like, oh my gosh, I'm not different. Like, no, like, I'm saying you're really unique. Like, you're just very beautiful or very handsome in a very unique way. And that was a really weird thing coming through, but people's first impression are like, I've never seen anybody that looks like pile 3. And you might be like, but I'm so much more than my looks, right? But we're looking at first impressions. You know, you only have 30 seconds to make a good first impression. Well, you don't even have that. You get a half a second before people are like, whoa, pile 3 is so attractive. They feel like that's a gift from source to you, right? Look, we have the 3 of Cups coming through here. Wow. Okay. We have the Ace of Cups. Exactly. People are very attracted to you. I feel like you may make... So no matter what your preference is, like, you make straight people want to turn over to your side. You know what I mean? Like, you can turn tables if you wanted to. Like, you're just a very attractive person. And your attraction may be ambiguous. Like, it may be hard to see if you're a man or a woman, okay? Like, and please, I'm not sitting here judging. That's not what this is. It's just that that's the thing. It's like, one time hold on. Story time for like a second. One time I met this person named Squirrel. Okay? I cannot make this up. I kept calling Squirrel a guy. I was like, oh my gosh, that guy is so hot. Like, that guy is so attractive, so amazing looking. And someone's like, that's a lady. And I was like, what? I was like, no, I could see it. No, I could see it. But I just didn't know. And so my brain just automatically was like, okay, like, that's a dude. But it wasn't. It was a woman. And so it's like that. But it's like that. Like, if it was a guy, they would see that it was a woman, and the same thing. Like, I feel like that's exactly what you do. Like, you make people like, whoa, pile 3, you're like very attractive. And it doesn't matter who you swinging for, you're just attractive, okay? Look, and we have the 8 of Cups, okay. So they're either seeing it as genetics, right? Or they're seeing it as a gift from God. And so you have with the 3 of Swords here and the 3 of Cups, like, something to celebrate. Like, you've been given this gift to celebrate, and so people celebrate your looks. They celebrate the way that you look. Like, that's something that people get on board with. They're like, yeah, let's celebrate it. And so immediately their first impression of you is that they fall in love with you, or they want to love you, right? They want multiples of you. Could be kids. This could represent kids. That's not really the energy that I'm getting. It's just kind of like, if I could duplicate you, or if I could, you know, clone you, I would. Type energies, like they wish they had multiples of you. You're just really, really shocking. Have a beautiful face. You just have a beautiful body. Like, you have a beautiful air about you. It could just be your energy, but it's just like something about you is very, very attractive here, and people immediately are drawn to it. And so their first impression of you is like, you're worth celebrating, right? You're worth celebrating. And it's almost like here with the 8 of Cups, we all know the 8 of Cups in my deck talks about family. It's like these people are also like, man, if I could give their family a hug for creating this child, for creating this person, for creating them, like, I would, because that is so amazing. They're just so good looking, and that's really what people's first impression is. So you may have very unique colored eyes. You may have very beautiful hair. You may have a very, like, angular face is something I'm seeing here. Something about your feet, the way you dress, what you wear, like, you just, something about you is very alluring and very attractive and sensual, and it's like they cannot help but be attracted to you. So it's like very interesting here. This is a very interesting pile. Out of all the piles, this one's just very interesting to me. It's just more about your looks than it is, you know, your actual who you are. And not take that so personal either. Like, sometimes people can't go beyond the physical. Like, sometimes, and especially now, like, we have a lot of people who have a hard time going beyond what they see with their eyes. They're not feeling with their hearts. Like, the heart chakra is probably the #1 chakra that's closed off in the whole world, because people have been hurt so many times, you know? And so it's hard to see with an open heart when you've been hurt, but it's easy to see with eyes when you're lusting after someone. And so that's what it feels like here. A lot of people lust after you. A lot of people want to connect with you. But I do feel like when people do finally connect with you, like you're so much more than your looks, and they're like almost feel bad about that. Like, right? Almost feel bad, like, oh my gosh, like I just judged them based on their looks. Like, holy crap, there's so much more than that. And so then they find that there's a deeper part of you that's worth celebrating, that you're much more connected than they gave you credit for here, that they could have ever even imagined when they first met you. So we have house 12, spirituality, transcendence, karma, sacrificial service, and healing. And so with that, you do bring a sense of healing around you. You may have Venus in Pisces. Okay, you may have the 7th house in Pisces. Again, it's interesting because, you know, Libra is ruled by Venus. And so that might be why it's coming out, and they're pointing out that your Venus could be in Pisces, which actually gives you a very beautiful look. It's very unique, different than most beauty, right? Like, it's like you don't have the same beauty as what you might perceive as beautiful standards or good looking standards or handsome standards. That's not what the purpose is. It gives you that very unique look. So you could absolutely have Pisces and Venus. We had an instinct that flew over here. So it's like people are instinctively drawn to you. Again, it's almost like you're the perfect mate. And that's something that's very instinctual, right? Like, it's not necessarily something that's just preference. Like, everybody has their preference. But for you, it's like you fit multiple categories for people that they're attracted to you. Like, that's the perfect mate. They would give me good babies, or I would have good babies with them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like really just this attraction. So, and I feel like when they get to know you, you bring in this humongous wake-up call. Like, people all of a sudden are like, whoa, okay, pile 3 was nothing at all like what I expected them to be. Like, I really thought that they were just going to be shallow or, you know, disconnected or like spoiled or something along those lines, and you're nothing like that. Like, you don't fit any of those, right? The reason being is you're a human and you've experienced life as a human, and you know, so yeah. And these are old cycles. You actually make people clear out very old patterns of thought, and it has to do with this is why you've been made to look the way that you look. Okay, you've been made in such a way that heals people's belief systems around physical attraction, because you're so much more than what you are on the outside. Look, underneath that, my finger got stuck to the card, and look underneath that, we have 44 with truth and jackal coming out here. This is like a cosmic message to you. This is like source coming in and saying, like, I don't want you to be upset that people are only attracted to you physically. I've done this for purpose. I did this so that people would be humbled by the fact that beauty is so much deeper than the skin, right? But a lot of people may not treat you that way, and they don't want you to be upset about that, pile 3, because there's purpose for it, right? And sometimes it's just hard. It's just hard when people only see you in a certain light. And I get that. So we have, with number 2 here, Antelope Spirit, life is speeding up. So it does feel like things are about to change here with this card coming out. I feel like there are a lot of things that are about to change where people are going to actually recognize you, either because you're getting recognition out in the world, or they're just, again, it's like you've changed so many people's perspective on it that it's going to actually overturn the vast majority. You know, a lot of life and a lot of healing is the more people that heal, the more people that are going to heal. It's like not just because you healed that the whole world heals, but you heal, you give more people opportunity and space to heal. They give more people opportunity and space to heal. And so it's like dropping a pebble into the pond and creating waves out in the world. And now you're creating waves, and so it's speeding up. And now people, when they're meeting you, they're going to see you as much more than just skin deep. Like, I keep hearing that, skin deep. Like, why do I got to be just skin deep? Like, I'm I'm smarter than that. I'm wiser than that. I have so much more going on for me than that. Like, you could be the smartest, most amazing person intellectually and have the biggest heart in the world. But unfortunately, the world that we live in right now is very visually driven, right? Like, it's very visually driven. And so it's something that is changing. That's something that we are seeing altering. And that's why Source is bringing this up for you. And for those of you that watched all 3 piles, again, as always, leave a purple heart down below, as that is designated for you. You can say, I made it. I'll know. I will already know. If you just leave a purple heart, I will already know. And thank you so much. But this is saying, like, Source made you look a certain way because you're actually healing people to walk away from that belief that beauty is only skin deep. Look, claim your independence. Exactly. You're becoming independent of that thought process. Like, you're far more than that. And I see that. Source sees it. Source is acknowledging it. I'm going to grab one of these love cards here to see what else comes through as to what people's first impression of you is. This does not have a name. It's just called the Loving, what is it? Loving Oracle deck. It has 53 cards in it. It does not have an author. So, but the cards are pretty amazing. So on the bottom we have Teddy Bear. Interested in you, blooming romance, flirting, and wanting to date. So people's first impression, this goes back to exactly what I was saying. They want to date you. 21:12 on the clock. Like, they just want a relationship with you. Like, they just, but not for any particular reason except for the way you look. Like, they're not even willing to go out of their way to get to know you. Okay, the deck just split. Let me see what it split to, if I can here. Passion. Insane chemistry, sparks and having fun, equal interest and burning desire. Look, I cannot make this stuff up. What's peeking here? Separation, sadness, bitterness, missing you, thinking about you, an uncertain future. Yeah, and it's like, I feel like this is something that's made you a little bit bitter. It's like, well, people don't ever want to get to know me. Like, they just, like, when I actually show them who I am, they go running for the hills. Good, let them, because they're not meant for you, okay? They're not. Like, the minute you show someone your true self and they turn and they run the opposite direction, that's a good sign that you're leveling up out of this person's life and they're vibing out. Let them vibe out. That's not for you to try and hold on to them and wonder if something's wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you, Pile 3. Nothing is wrong for you. That is that person's problem, because they really just thought that you were going to be a trophy girlfriend, a trophy boyfriend, a trophy partner, whatever, right? That's not fair. That's not fair to anybody, okay? Look, South Node, exactly. Destined to release. I can't make this stuff up. Your looks have been designed in such a way that you're bringing this South Node energy to everyone. They have to release this idea. Everyone you meet, everywhere you go. And soon you're going to see people who don't actually care about the way you look. Like, they appreciate your beauty, but they want to know who you are. Because they're like, oh, that is some good vibes right there. That's my people. Right? Look, stability. Exactly. Sea turtle. You may have had a lot as, like, I do feel like for someone here, you were a child model or something along those lines. I do feel like there's something from your childhood. I'm not going to really get too deep into it because I don't have the time on this reading today. So we're not going to get into the triggers of it, but you'll know what I'm talking about here, that you may have experienced a lot of hardships from your childhood. And that's something that why you've always hated your beauty, right? Or had an issue with your beauty. And maybe you don't. Maybe you don't have an issue with your beauty, or maybe you just don't see yourself in that way. But this is something that's saying here, you're finding a new stability about who you are, and you're reaching in deep and healing your inner child here. And that's helping others to heal too. It's not your job to heal others, but because you're doing that with yourself, you're healing those karmic wounds. You're giving space for others to heal deeply in this way. So let's take a look at what this card is. Talking, interested, awaiting messages, text, calls, email, and talking more. Yeah, so you may get a lot of people who are interested. But I do feel like this is pointing at there's someone that's coming, whether that's a love interest, a soulmate, like a soul tribe or family, whatever it is that's coming that actually just wants to talk to you and get to know you better. They like talking to you. Like, they like hanging out. Like, hey, I really like pile 3. Pile 3 is amazing. Like, you're not only beautiful, you're not only handsome, like, you're funny, you're smart, you're intelligent, you got all these things going on for you. I am honored to get to spend time with you, and that's how this person is going to be, okay? It's coming in. There's some sort of stability that's taking over in your life, but a lot of people's first impression of you does have to do with your looks, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at your oracle card. I'm going to read this from the book, Good Fortune. Yeah. I'm not surprised that this came out. Again, people feel like it's a gift from source, a gift from God, that your looks, like, oh my gosh, like, only source can make someone look that good. You know, and for you, it's like, feels like for some of you, your looks have been the source of a trigger for you for a lot. 25 on the clock. Yeah, it's been like a trigger for you in your life. Here's the insignia. If you'd like to pause this, screenshot it, and copy it, and carry it with you so you remember this reading. So this says, in ancient Egypt, the scarab beetle was a symbol of good fortune, rebirth, and protection from jealousy. Makes sense. This card indicates prosperity and long-term success. It could also mean a miracle or a blessing. This, however, is not a passive fortune. Now is the time to formulate new ideas about the path you want to follow. Decide what you are interested in and take action, because luck is on your side. This card can ease the hard work that needs to be done to get to the finish line, but it's up to you to see yourself through. You will resurrect your power when you encounter obstacles on your way. But you need to stay focused on your goals, and don't forget to celebrate your success. I attract good fortune. And so again, this does feel like that's the thing. It's like a lot of people are like celebrating your beauty. They're celebrating your good looks. And source is saying to continue on your path here, because your fortune, you're going to find people who appreciate you as a being and not what you look like, because this is a shell. Beauty fades. Good looks fade. Right? The passage of time is hard on everyone. Whether that's 70 years from now and you start to look old, or whether that's 10 years from now and you look like you've been put through hell, whatever it is, it's just the passage of time is hard on everyone. No one is free from it. And so that's what it's saying here. And so I feel like source is giving you a message within this message, is saying, don't trip about how people are just focused on your looks here. But that's their first impression of you. I want to remind you that you're coming into a place of good fortune and prosperity. It's awaiting, and it's coming to you because you've made so much progress on your journey. Sudden change with Uranus here. Okay? So this is what I see for you. If you feel like this message resonates with you, leave a little turtle emoji down below and say, I am stable in who I am as a complete and total person. And you let source know that you're honoring the you that you are, right? Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there and get on out of here. I do want to take a quick second, though, to thank your guides, your spirit messengers, your angel source, and my guides for coming together to give us this message. And until next time, pile number 3, stay human. Bye.